Celebrity MasterChef is back.
Well, to win it would be, wouldn't it, just fantastic.
These celebrities are all passionate about food.
I feel like I'm about to sit an exam I haven't revised for.
We're looking for that exceptional cooking style. Someone who's more than just a good home cook. Someone with that extra something special.
If I did win, I would show off so badly for about 5 years, I reckon.
It's Celebrity MasterChef. These three celebrities believe they have what it takes to become MasterChef. Nadia Sawalha is the well-known actress and TV presenter.
I've definitely got that "why did I say yes" feeling at the moment.
Jeff Green is an award-winning comedian.
Hopefully my food will be edible.
Sue Cook is one of the UK's most popular broadcasters.
I'm feeling very nervous. I'm just hoping my hands won't shake, so I'll sort of slice my fingers off with a sharp knife.
Today, their cooking skills will undergo 3 rigorous tests. They have to invent 2 dishes from scratch out of a mystery box of ingredients.
It's probably not a dish. It's 2 things on a plate.
They have to survive the pressure of cooking their own dish for paying customers.
Come on, venison, please. Holding up the whole restaurant.
And they have to wow the judges with their best 2-course meal.
It's highly unusual, and it's rather pleasant.
But only one of them will go through to the quarter-final.
What you're going to do for us now is perform your first task as part of your 2 days here with us. 50 minutes, 2 courses, don't have to be complicated, just have to be nice. Off you go.
The celebrities have to create 2 exceptional dishes from any of today's mystery ingredients, which include salmon, parsnips, courgettes, summer fruits, red wine, couscous, sesame seeds, and amaretti biscuits. Judging the celebrities are food writer and ingredients expert Greg Wallace.
3 celebrities, 3 very well-known personalities, keen to show us what sort of cooks they are.
And top chef and restaurateur John Turode.
This is definitely the most difficult part of the whole competition.
Which of the 3 will impress them the most?
Nadia's culinary heritage is in the Middle East. That is about feast, it's about great food, it's about huge flavours. That's why I think she's going to be great.
I wake up in the morning, the first thought in my head is what I'm going to eat all day.
Nadia, why are you here?
Because I really, really love cooking. My whole family does. Our life revolves really around food and parties, and maybe that's why I'm a little screwed up, because I believe love is very, very much connected with food, which is why I've never been thin.
What's the soup?
It's carrot, parsnip, onion and coriander.
The main, we're undecided yet?
Don't know yet.
I mean, you haven't got much time left.
I know.
You got to make a decision.
Talk to somebody else.
Sue has travelled, written a book about Vietnam. Well, today I hope we get a glimmer of that travel and that food.
I think what I love most is serving some food to people you really love and watching them really enjoy it.
You have been our quiet, studious one since
I'm terrified. I'm too scared to say anything.
Tell us about the food you're going to cook for us.
I thought I'd do a salmon in a beurre blanc, and then I realised there isn't any white wine, so I'll do a beurre rouge. I use red wine.
Sue, you cook. How much cooking do you do?
I do an awful lot without even noticing it, really, because I've had a family, I've had 2 kids, so it's part of my, fabric of my life, really.
Are you the quiet assassin, do we think, Sue?
Oh, well, let's hope so.
You're going to beat these 2?
They both look jolly professional to me, so...
You're being a bit nice, aren't you, Sue?
I'm a nice person.
You have quarter of an hour left.
Oh, God.
Jeff's a comedian. We have no idea what this guy knows about food. What we can guess is he's been on tour a lot. Now, has he eaten slop, or has he had a chance to experience the foods around him when he's been out on tour?
I'm a self-taught, glorious amateur. I'll do baked beans with avocado and basically I just dive in and see where I get. I feel like I felt when I did my first ever gig down at the Comedy Store, pacing, kind of remember my jokes, kind of remember which ingredients go with which.
What are you going to cook for us?
I'm probably going to stir-fry the salmon with some chilli, some carrots, some courgettes. The other dish is still fermenting in my head. I may play around with some kind of vegetarian couscous with braised parsnips, something like that.
Jeff, it doesn't have to be elaborate at this stage, it's just got to taste nice. 5 minutes.
It smells something burning. Is that you, Jeff?
But Jeff's couscous and parsnip suddenly faces disaster.
That's burnt. That was looking lovely.
Can he cook it again in time?
Finished. That's it. Finished.
Nadia is risking it all on a parsnip and carrot soup.
I think that's a really good effort to make a great bowl of soup. Yeah.
Oh, cool. I thought I was going to be right at the bottom.
That's lovely. That is lovely. It's sweet, it's earthy with root vegetables, it's creamy, it's peppery, and then it finishes off with coriander. That's great. Good start. The predominant flavour is the parsnips. Strong, sweet, yet slightly bitter. It's tasty.
Will Nadia's second dish of roasted salmon with sautéed potatoes and courgettes be as successful?
That's really nice. It's
You
I'm chewing the salmon more than I want to, but what comes through is the saltiness and the garlic of the potatoes as well. It matches that fish really, really nicely. The predominant flavour is those great, strong sesame seeds that sit on top of that salmon. The flavour of the salmon with that sesame is really, really good. Everything you're cooking is good with the exception of these courgettes.
Do you know what? I shouldn't have put those courgettes in. I was not happy with those courgettes. I should have chucked them in the bin.
Jeff is hoping his nerves haven't sabotaged his lemon and lime couscous served with braised parsnips.
The most powerful flavour is the couscous, the lemon and the lime and the coriander. Yeah. And actually, as a little sort of salad, it's really, really tasty. It's probably not a dish.
Right.
It's two things on a plate. Actually, I don't dislike it as much as I thought I was going to do. It's an odd one, and I don't actually think there's anything wrong with the way you cook. I think the problems you had here was one of complete and utter indecision.
With mixed reviews on his first dish, will Jeff's salmon and stir-fry vegetables impress both judges?
The vegetables are crunchy and they should be. It's a stir-fry, it's done quickly. Yeah. There's a bit of heat from the chilli. It's okay. It needs a bit more oomph, it needs a bit more salt, it needs a bit more, just a bit more power to it. No, crunch of the veg. Salmon's cooked really nicely. No, you can cook. You definitely can cook.
Thanks, Greg.
Experienced cook Sue is showing off her skills with poached salmon, a beurre rouge and roasted carrots.
My concern is we've got this sort of pool of, I don't know whether it seems to be oil underneath our fish.
All separated.
Our salmon is definitely overcooked and looking a bit sort of as if it's falling apart. This greasiness from the vegetables.
That's a real bummer.
It is, actually, because it ruins the dish.
Yeah.
That's a shame. It's a good flavoured sauce. It's slightly acidic, slightly fruity. The vegetables are actually cooked okay. They've got a bit of crunch, but the whole thing, unfortunately, is swimming in oil. I think you've snatched your feet out the jaws of victory there, somehow.
Can Sue make up valuable ground with a fault-free summer fruit crumble?
The contrast with the sourness of that fruit with the sweetness of your topping and the crumbly topping is buttery but yet crispy. It's not greasy. It's really good. Yeah, that's a winner. That is an absolute winner. Well done. That's not easy. Get some rest because you have a big, busy, long day tomorrow. Well done.
Oh my
So, yes.
We want a cooking star. We're not concerned about what they do in their day job. We just want somebody who's going to cook us great food and just show us how good they really are.
Fascinating watching these three celebrities today. Absolutely fascinating.
Sue, for me, was going to be the winner for sure. There she was. Salmon, a red wine butter sauce, some roasted vegetables and a crumble with creme fraiche. What a disaster that salmon was.
The oil, I swear, the oil was kind of coming from nowhere. It was just seeping out of these vegetables and all over the plate. It was just kind of, oh, no.
I still think Sue is a great cook. I think she had a bad morning at the office.
Nadia seems to be a natural cook. She's still very nervous. She's concerned about the food she serves.
I could have cried. I could have just run home because I was just so ashamed of what I'd made. So it was just, I was just over the moon. I couldn't have been more shocked that they liked it.
Jeff, by his own admission, he says he's cooked lots of dishes once, which means that he actually doesn't have a group of dishes which he does very, very well.
When my couscous burnt, I just wanted to, you know, turn and say, I really am out of my depth.
The guy's bright, he's charming, he's full of energy. He could go through.
There is all to play for. They all had mistakes. They've all learned something, and that delights me.
For tonight, the pressure's off, but tomorrow they'll face their most demanding test yet. It's day 2, and Sue, Nadia and Jeff are about to face their next challenge. They'll be working a busy lunchtime service in a professional kitchen. Today's restaurant is the Rib Room, which lies in the heart of London.
Good morning, Chef.
Morning.
Morning, Chef.
Good morning.
They each have to design a dish for today's specials menu under the guidance of executive chef Simon Young.
The rib room is full today, so we've got a busy day.
Customers at this exclusive Knightsbridge restaurant have come to expect a very high standard of British cuisine.
We're starting service now.
Right.
One voice, my voice.
Yes, Chef.
For today's menu, Nadia will be cooking wild sea bass and caramelised scallop with fine fennel puree and crab bisque. Sue is making loin of venison with braised red cabbage, apple and parsnips. Jeff's dish is confit duck with Savoy cabbage and cranberry jus.
One sea bass, one duck. Second check, 2 duck, 2 sea bass.
Yes, Chef.
Yes, Chef.
It's 12:30 and the restaurant is filling up.
1 sea bass, 1 venison. 3 duck, 3 sea bass.
Yes, Chef.
The orders for Jeff's duck are flying in, but he's so nervous he's plated up before the rest of the table's orders are ready.
Wait, remember, saucing at the same time. You can sauce, she's not ready, yours will skin over.
Yes, Chef.
Despite this, his food's going down well.
It looked amazing, absolutely delicious.
Come on, let's get some food away.
I recommend it to anybody. If they can't afford a bungee jump or deep sea diving or something like that, come and work in a kitchen.
Nadia is off to a shaky start, piping her fennel puree.
No, that looks like diarrhoea.
It's too runny. It's gone too runny.
That looks like cat poo.
But with orders flying in, she has to get things under control.
I'm loving it. I'm hooked.
It's not long before she's turning out plate after plate of magnificent food.
Beautiful sea bass, beautiful.
It was presented really nicely and it was really delicious.
1 duck, 1 sea bass, 3 venison.
Yes, Chef.
It's halfway through service, and Sue is finding it difficult to keep up with the orders for her venison dish.
Sue, come on, venison, please. Holding up the whole restaurant. Come on, venison, Sue.
She's taken too long to prepare her dish, and Nadia's sea bass for the same table has gone cold.
Want that replating?
Okay.
Sat around for too long.
Sue needs to hurry up.
I've always wondered what it was like in a top restaurant kitchen. Yeah. Coming. Yeah.
But Sue's perseverance pays off.
Nicely cooked venison, Sue. Very nice. Beautiful.
Thank you, Chef.
Very, very tender, succulent. The sauce was out of this world.
OK, guys, that's the last table away. Thank you very much. Done a fantastic job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chef.
Thank you.
Oh, God, absolutely exhausting.
Now it's time for Executive Chef Simon to give John and Greg his verdict.
Thank you very much. Great experience for those guys.
How did Jeff get on during service?
He was very eager, I would say would be the best way to describe Jeff. Jeff would be very keen to put his dish up before the other two, but I think towards the end of service, Jeff was getting it. Sue, a plodder. 5 times out of 10, we were waiting for Sue to put her venison up. So slow, methodical, a little bit inconsistent in her meat cooking. Nadia was the first to be putting her food up. She was calling out, how many more have I got on order? The cooking of the sea bass was perfect.
We're looking for a great cook. Is there a great cook amongst those 3?
Yeah, Nadia, for me, was the star. She's got the passion, which I think when you've got the passion, you're 25% of the way there.
Now they're straight back to MasterChef HQ to cook their best 2-course meal. Nadia impressed the judges in the first round and was the star of the pro kitchen. But can she keep it up and walk away the winner? Experienced cook Sue had a shaky start in the first round, and she struggled with the workload in the professional kitchen. Will she be able to raise her game and stay in the competition? Novice Jeff's nerves have let him down, but he held his own in the tough restaurant. Will he now be able to prove to the judges he has star potential in the final test?
1 hour, 2 fantastic dishes. At the end of it, we've got 1 quarter-finalist. Good luck. Your time starts now.
They have to cook a 2-course meal of their own design. Only one will win a place in the quarter-final. Nadia is risking it all on some Middle Eastern family favourites, but will they be good enough for MasterChef?
I'm cooking 2 dishes from my childhood. The first dish is moussakhan, which is a Palestinian wedding dish that is usually served on huge round plates with piles of rice, lots of nuts, and whole poussins literally thrown at it. Pudding is going to be the pancakes that my mum used to make for us when we were kids, and I think they're called crêpe dentelle.
You hidden Middle Eastern dishes because this is where you feel safe?
I thought it would be really interesting because I know that not many people have had this dish, and it's a dish I would make for people because I think it says a lot about me. But I'm very nervous about it because it's a very particular taste. The sumac is very, very lemony. So I'm taking a risk here. You could literally spit this stuff out.
Sounds great. I'm thinking it could be a little bit scruffy, actually. It could come out looking a real mess.
Sue wants to show off her skill with flavours, using over 10 ingredients in her experimental dish. But will she get the balance right?
Sue, quiet as ever.
Yeah, quite concentrated, focused, you know.
Focused on what? What are our dishes?
Tiger prawns in lemon juice and oil. I'm doing a pork fillet, roast in the oven, in a kind of mirin and soy marinade, bit of Vietnamese influence there.
Wow. There's some serious ingredients and big flavours in that pork. I've got to ask, you've done this dish before?
I have done it before, yes. Various different variations. I never do the same thing twice. I always put a different sort of take on it.
You are on the verge of being crowned an absolute brilliant wonder master blenders of ingredients.
Or a huge failure.
See, the difficulty would be for Sue's main course. Soy sauce and cream, soy in the marinade for the pork, and creme fraiche with the Brussels sprouts.
You've got 10 minutes left.
After a wobbly first 2 rounds, Jeff needs to prove to the judges that he has enough raw talent to take him through to the next round.
Jeff.
Yes, Jeff.
I'm surprised and quite excited. Such an array of spices.
Which I am going to use in this starter dish, which is sardines en escabeche and Moroccan lamb with Moroccan rice.
You obviously travel quite a lot, Jeff. You've obviously been on tour quite a lot.
Yeah.
The food you eat when you're on tour, what sort of food is it?
It's mostly pasties in the back of my car, to be perfectly honest. One of the hardest things on the road, in my opinion, is getting veg and fruit and eating well. It's all right when you're young and your body forgives you, but once you get a bit older, you think more about your food.
I've got a theory that you're on a huge learning curve here, Jeff, with this.
Absolutely, Greg. When you said to me yesterday, you can cook, you know, I was ever so slightly vain, a little bit puffed up about it. And so I think, well, if these guys think I can cook, then I might as well give it a go.
Well, it's good because it shows that this is the sort of food that he does cook at home. Understands escabeche, which is sort of a pickling process with those sardines. Gives it lots of flavour. And then there's lamb stew. I just hope that lamb stew's not going to be too dry.
5 minutes. That's it, guys. All done, all said, finished now, please.
Nadia has made a Middle Eastern-inspired poussin with fried onions and an Arabic mint salad. And for dessert, apple and cinnamon pancakes.
Nadia, good?
I'm a bit worried. I'm a bit nervous.
I think there would be a very easy way to make this look prettier and more elegant. You will have to be able to do that with your food because this is very robust, and for a lot of people, people go, ooh, that's a bit... I could probably say the word gross. The flesh on the bird is cooked absolutely beautifully. It's moist, it's sweet, the onions are quite sweet. But what I find more exciting is the way that you cooked it. I love the way it's just been chucked in an oven, all these onions and all those juices and all those flavours sit in the bottom of that bread. I think it's brilliant.
Moist chicken, lovely bread, but everything is citrus. Citrus lemon, citrus sumac.
Shall we move from your main course?
Yes. Nice. Oh, good.
I would demolish plate after plate. John, I'm not too sure.
They're delicious.
Really?
I think they're great. I think, again, they look shabby. I think you do cook. I think you understand the food of your childhood. But if you're going to go any further in this competition, you've got to find a way of making this food just a little bit finer.
I really want to go through, yeah. Mind you, at the moment, I can't imagine myself ever cooking again. I'm so tired.
Sue wants to showcase her knowledge of flavours with her tiger prawns with homemade mayonnaise and roast pork fillet with mirin, soy and maple syrup marinade on crushed Brussels sprouts with creme fraiche and mustard and vine tomatoes.
The prawns are cooked really, really well. I like the freshness of it, I like the cleanness of it, and you're game enough to be able to serve a very simple dish like that as a starter.
I think it's a winning dish. I think it's cleverly thought out. I don't think there's a lot more you could do with it.
Right, from prawns to pork. Red wine, soy, mirin, maple syrup, mustard, cream, Brussels sprouts and tomatoes. Rightio, here we go. Although the pork is succulent, I still find that there's just a couple of flavours in there which just don't quite work for me. It's about being confident enough, Sue, not to have to add any more ingredients.
Yeah. It's highly unusual. And it's rather pleasant.
It would be so exciting to get to the next round, and I think I'd learn more as well. I think I can get better. I know I can get better.
Jeff is hoping to prove his cooking skills with his sardines escabeche on a bed of rocket with toasted ciabatta, followed by Moroccan lamb with rice.
This I like very much. Tomato in there, fruity, sharpness, pepper heat. Bread soaks the whole lot up, especially the oily fish, which also stands its own against all these other strong flavours. Very good.
I like food like this because by the time it gets into your mouth and you take the first chew, all those flavours explode. Very, very cost-effective, very, very delicious and very, very clever.
Should we move on? Yeah, I'm really impressed by your use of spices and flavourings. It's good.
I think it's really pleasant to eat. My fear is that lamb being slightly dry, but the flavours are right. I am blown away by what you've cooked today because they are two dishes which follow on after each other. They're packed full of flavour. And the other thing is you become very, very sincere about the fact that you really, really like food.
I'm pleased that I did my best, and my best just about came off.
Well, this is the point whereby we have to make a decision about who's going to stay. And as soon as we find out, we'll call you back. Thanks very much.
Cook them. I know.
Celebrity MasterChef, 3 people who don't necessarily want to change their lives, but want to prove to us that they are a real cooking star. There are so many things about all 3 of them that are so endearing in the food they've cooked. And they are all using big flavours.
Well, Sue's is hugely experimental, but I can't find enough to excite me. I've been excited by Nadia, I'm now excited by Jeff.
I have a question mark over Sue because of her want to change and move things every single time. Every time she does something, she puts something else in it. And my fright is that one day I'm going to end up with a piece of sea bass covered in chocolate.
If anything does let me down, I think it's going to be the fact that I use so many ingredients. If they think that, well, that's a shame, but so be it.
I can't find enough in Sue to make me want to promote her.
So we agree, Sue's out. That leaves us with Jeff and Nadia. Now, those sardines ex-Gabesh were fantastic. Jeff, he does have a good palate. He understands spicing. I'm concerned he doesn't have the foundation.
I don't mind that he doesn't have a huge repertoire. We know he doesn't cook very much. It's how fast he can learn.
I feel blown away by the comments. I think they genuinely liked that food, which gives me confidence.
Nadia's poussin, for me, it tasted really, really delicious. Very, very interesting.
I quite like the flavours, but the presentation of her food is all over the place. That's the best she came out with.
It was flavoursome food, Greg.
Yeah. But then we look at yesterday. Her presentation was not shabby. You look at what she did in the kitchen today, and Simon thought she was great. And what an extraordinary dish.
I just hope I can go through so I can really start improving my skills and keep on learning.
Look, we know she's an accomplished cook. Whereas I think with potential, the potential here is with Jeff. It's only a hunch, John. I'm finding it hard to sell it to you. It's only a hunch. I think we've got a fast learner on our hands.
The decision has been very, very difficult, but we have made our decision.
Our celebrity going through to the next round is Nadia.
Really? Oh my goodness! This is me. Oh my goodness! What have I got to do now?
Genuinely pleased for Nadia and feel that the best person won.
It's not wind up.
I'm sad, obviously, and a bit disappointed. But that's the way the cookie crumbles.
I'm over the moon, excited and very nervous, which I think is a good way to be, really. But mostly I just want to go and show off to someone quite soon.
Nadia will be back for the quarter-finals, when she'll battle against 3 other celebrity cooks for the title of Celebrity MasterChef.
We are looking for a cooking star.
You had that tuna in there for an inordinate length of time.
It's the boss. Make sure he's good. Your competition, my job on the line.
Beautifully seasoned, well cooked, triumphant.